are we doing today, Bonnie?
I am going to do a world record of 1,000 men in 24 hours. The only thing I'm nervous about, I'm like, what if people don't turn up? But if they don't turn up, they don't turn up. But I arrived here 2 hours ago and there was already people outside.
Yeah, man. So Bonnie, she wants to do 1,000 in 24 hours. BigHerc916. Welcome to the channel. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You kind of have to wonder, what is the psychology behind a woman wanting to do 1,000 guys in 24 hours? Does she still want to find love? Is she void of emotions? Is she detached? Is she craving just a bunch of hammers? Is she looking for that ultimate Thundercat, that hammer of Thor? The amazing cheek bust experience? Well, I've been around a lot of females that have worked in the adult entertainment industry, and I've met females who have been on a set with 15, 20 guys at a time. And when you talk to these women, they're like any other female when it comes to personal life, hobbies, interest to some degree. I mean, some of these women are very educated. Some of them have degrees. So a lot of these women are pretty normal when it comes to conversation outside of work. You know, they have hobbies, they have interests, they like to go out to dinner. They want to have somebody to sit back and watch movies with. They want a degree of romance in their life. But when it comes to work, they look at work as work, and a lot of them have what is this wall that they separate the guys they sleep with on the set from who they're intimate with in private. And so, you know, if she slept with 1,000 guys in the industry and maybe 2 guys in private, she looks like, oh, I've only had 2 men in my life. The other guys don't count. Which is an interesting way to look at it, but the reality is that's 1,002. And for the average guy out there that meets a woman like Bonnie, who's attractive on the outside and maybe, conversation-wise attractive intellectually, but when he finds out about her body count and about what her work entails, he's running for the hills, man. He's not gonna want to have anything to do with Bonnie. And the thing is, even if he did, his friends, his family members, the people he knows, his people he works with, when they find out that this is who he's bringing around, he's gonna get shamed, even if it's not out loud, internally, that he's not gonna feel comfortable hanging out with Bonnie publicly. And so he's not gonna be able to handle the backlash of having a relationship with a woman like that. And I'm not saying that these women don't deserve regular relationships. I'm just saying that unless a guy's a rich cuck or a rich simp or a beta, and he's gonna, pride himself on the fact that he has what he calls an animal, a gobbler, and he recognizes that other men recognize, and that they're going to speak on that because it will get spoke on, because social media is the age where people are going to say things and some of them aren't going to be nice, then hey man, more power to this guy if he can handle that. But the average guy, especially a square, the one who works a regular job, maybe he's a guy who's into, you know, the tech or real estate or, you know, a car salesman, whatever he is, whatever career path he has, owns his own business, and he's looking to wife a female up, he's not going to want to wife up Bonnie.
Yeah.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably done that a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair. Like, I am fine. Just feels like I've had a heavy day in the bedroom, which is exactly what I've had. I think if it had continued how it did for the first sort of 3-4 hours, I would have struggled.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people.
And a lot of these women, I've seen them on the sets with their boyfriends or their husbands, and you know, this guy, he'll be hanging out, you know, talking with the guys who are about to pound his woman, and you know, cracking jokes. And then when the camera rolls, he's there and he's trying to nonchalantly act like it doesn't really bother him. But you know, you have some of these dudes coming in and they got baby arms and they're just hammering down. And you know, these guys are, a lot of them are, you know, these are professionals. And then after the fact, you know, you gotta pat everybody on the back or handshake them and then take your wife or your girlfriend with you. I don't know what type of mentality or personality that is, but it's gotta be one that is very turned on by the fact that his girl just experienced that. And see, nowadays, you know, it ain't like back in the day where it wasn't, you know, internal. Some of this stuff is internal, so you might have a slush pot. Yeah, it might be a slush pot, man. But this is where the industry's at, and 1,000 now is the benchmark.
I actually didn't feel sore whatsoever, and I don't know if it's because I took so many massive at the start of the day, so it really stretched me out.
1,000 is the benchmark, and most of the relationships in the porn industry, they maybe last after the porn industry. I mean, if they're on the way out, but while they're in it, there's always some type of trust issues. The guy's cheating because he feels like that's, you know, his you know, past, because she's getting, you know, blown out on the set, but she feels like the set is the set, it's not private, and there's always some type of drama. Most of the females I've known in the industry like that have been cheated on. They don't have any relationships where there's any type of like the guy is just, you know, he's straight up. It's always some sneaky stuff going on. The guy's always tripping off of who's calling, and then you got guys in the industry that know that she has a boyfriend, so they're trying to smash on the side just to clown. It's just a lot of different elements and factors that come into play when you're dealing with a female that's down for 1,000 body count. She's for the world. You're not going to be able to possess her. And a lot of guys actually get caught up on the fantasy of being able to possess a woman like Bonnie, being able to claim that they got Bonnie out of the game, that she no longer wants to be hammered, to have her cheeks busted. They feel like that means that they somehow were able to change her. You know, now Bonnie's not in the game, but you've seen what she was capable of, but now she's mine. That means that, you know, obviously I must have a special hammer, or, you know, we have a special connection. And that's a weird fantasy too for a lot of these guys, to be able to think they can take a female out of the industry and make her theirs. They can possess her. And like, I get it, you know, a lot of these females, they do want to have normal relationships. They want a man that understands that their body is what they, you know, what they want to do with it. And I'm not telling a female what to do with their body, what not to do. That's your choice, you know, it's get your money if that's what you feel. But just recognize that you can't complain later on when, you know, maybe you fall in love with a guy, and it's natural to fall in love, or you have feelings for a guy, and then he later comes around and says, you know, I know I said that it didn't bother me, but it does, and I don't want to be with you anymore. And like I said, the emotional backlash can be very, very dramatic for that female. You know, a lot of these females, they get depressed, and it takes them to a dark place. You know, the industry, when I was in the industry, I was in it, but then I didn't really hang out, but I was able to like build some cool friendships with some people, women and men. And because I wasn't really into like, I didn't do any drugs or, you know, drink or anything like that. So I was kind of a square, but I was around the elements. And not to say that everybody in the industry did drugs or drank, but, you know, trying to find that balance. And for the women, you know, that were in the industry, when they did kind of find a guy they had feelings for, they were actually, to a degree, willing to kind of step away. But then the catch was when they stepped away and now their finances are being affected, and then the guy is kind of like now, you know, acting funny because maybe he got them when they were in the industry, and, you know, now they're not in the industry, but he kind of wants them to be in the industry because he's trying to like hook up with other chicks too and using her as a bait and trying to, you know, get his on. It just becomes a bunch of drama, you know, bunch of just things that you don't want to deal with in a normal relationship. And like I said, you know, that guy taking Bonnie to a party, a work-related get together or a family function, and his, you know, nowadays people jump right on their phone, they Google, they can take your picture and put it into images, and they'll find out that, you know, she was a 100-man man-eater. That's gonna be a lot for any man to carry on his shoulders. A lot of guys can't carry that, man. But let me know what you guys think. If you could handle being with a woman who took down 1,000 in 24 hours and, you know, said she loved you though, would you want to be in a romantic relationship with her? And could you handle that being your wife? Would you want to have a child with that woman? You know, maybe she doesn't want to have kids, but the average guy, if he's wanting to build a family, you know, that entails having a child. And, you know, maybe she does want to have a child later on, but now when that child, you know, grows up and finds out his mom was involved in a 1,000-man takedown, how is that going to affect that child, man? You know, you don't think about that, but, you know, if the money's good, you make $1 million off of streams or what have you, I guess, you know, you look at that as a trade-off, but is that trade-off long-term or short-term? Oh, man, for those out there, you know, hey, if you got you one of those, you know, man-eaters out there, I guess be proud of her. But a lot of guys they're not gonna go for it, man. A lot of men, you know, who especially behind closed doors, they might be down for that, but publicly they're not gonna want to represent. But leave a comment, let me know if you'd want to represent a woman at this level. And what is your comments on 1,000 men in 24 hours? BigHerc916. Never settle for average. Go to BigHerc916.com and pick you up a hat. What's up? BigHerc916. Subscribe to my marquee channel. The link is in the description. Over there, I could be raw, real, and uncut. Don't have to worry about the algorithm. Don't have to worry about the shadow banning or being censored. I can give you stories that I can't share over here. And you know I got some hella fire stories. I'm also going to be showing you guys a lot of the behind the scenes stuff going on where the camera is just a fly on the wall. So, hey, subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Store and pick you up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that BigHerc916 has authored. You know how we do it.